So I listened to the guy, and he told me all these things I need to do to get my bike ready to sell. Now what? Well, this particular video, I'm going to go over a new platform that just hit within the last couple of years. It's called BikeList, BikeList.com, and we're going to give it a try. We're going to try it with this bike here, and we're going to do some tips and tricks. I have a listing. I'm going to show you a bit by bit rundown of how you do this after this.
Welcome to I Know a Guy Bicycles.
Welcome to I Know a Guy Bicycles, hanging out with the guy. Hi, I'm Justin, the guy. Obviously, I have a garage shop. Taking scary how to use bikes one bike at a time.
If you like these videos, please like and subscribe.
Welcome back to This Old Bike, hanging out with the guy. Hi, I'm Justin, the bike at I Know a Guy Bicycles. So I got this bike here. I have a video up that I'll put here that, I gave you some insights of don't just throw that bike away to sell it like a trade-in or anything like that. Don't throw that value away. Well, now what, right? So there's various other platforms out there to actually post your bike. I mentioned that in another video. Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Pink Bike, and the newest one that came up is called BikeList. So I'm going to do a review on BikeList because those other platforms have been around for a while, and the BikeList just got a couple write-ups, and it's starting to get some steam behind it. So I want to kind of review it myself for my own business, as well as giving my insights to you to help you sell your bike in the best way possible for yourself with the less hassle experience, and try to get the most value out of it. Reason being, it all depends what your comfort level is, right? Do you feel like take to a bike shop and have it packed up to ship? Do you know how to pack a bike? Do you want to go to a bike flight and figure it out yourself and buy that and ship it through there? There's all those costs. If you're willing to do that, you definitely will have a bigger audience of people to sell into. But if you live in an area where there's a high concentration of population, where you can probably sell it locally without having to deal with the whole shipping perspective, then local pickup is for you. Local pickup mainly is from Craigslist. You don't usually offer shipping through Craigslist, but through Facebook Marketplace, anything over $500 they won't let you. They don't have a shipping option there, so that's more of a localized, unless you're doing small parts. And then you got eBay, which you can do local pickup, but mostly those listings are for shipping. And Pink Bike is kind of a mix kind of thing. It's not a selling, it's a posting platform, not a transactional platform. So we got BikeList, which is new, which is a transactional basically point of sale for you, kind of like eBay. And that way you can post it. They take 9.99%. And that way it covers your transactional fee. It'll take care of your the taxes collection, that kind of ordeal. I'm pretty sure that's how that works with them. I have not yet gone through the full process. I've just listed one bike yesterday, but I'm going to be listing this one as well and a few others to see if I can get some momentum. Obviously I do have my own website where I sell my own bikes through, but as myself, as well as everybody else, the more places you can post it, the more chances you are going to sell it. That's just the end of the day. That's why I'm still on eBay. That's why I still post on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. How many fishing poles can you get out there? For me, I'm a lower price point. So anything under $1,000 is usually what I'm trying to market shoot. But if you have a bike that's higher end, like this guy behind me, there is an opportunity where you can get your value back out of it without just trading it in or letting it go. So if you go through those steps of having it all refurbished, all tuned up by your local shop, having all the data points and that all spec'd out, which I can show you here, that way you will have the best opportunity of selling that bike. So now you're into this process of where do I put all that stuff? So I'm going to take this bike here as an example, and going back to that one there where you're talking not just hundreds, you're talking thousands. I mean, it just kind of blows my mind that somebody throws one picture up there and a minimal description, and they're asking 6 grand for a bike. Unless you know that bike inside and out, you're like, oh, I lost one of those. I want another one just like that. You're not selling. You're basically, here you go. Hopefully you buy something. Whatever. You know, I don't know. Whatever. But anyway, for you that is watching this, I'm going to give you insights to actually tips and tricks and what I talked about in my previous video of how do you apply it into listing a bike. So let's dive into this. Are you ready? Hold on your hats. You might be, bored to tears, or might be like, oh, that's some gold nuggets. I'm sure you'll get something out of it after this.
So here we have BikeList.com. So they have listing for bikes, frames, and parts and accessories. And they have like latest staff picks, which is like stories and so forth, and bikes as well. Or wait, no, never mind. They have vintage. Ooh. And also blogs. So they're a starting out company that started about a year ago. And they've gotten a little bit of money and started building this up. And essentially, they've been building up their bike platform. So let's take a look at all the bikes. So here's just the bikes in general. You can break it down by a particular type, like road, mountain, hybrid, that kind of thing. So we're at the beginning of their journey, really. If you look at this compared to eBay or Facebook Marketplace or even Craigslist, right now they have 126 listings, which is not a lot, but two things could be very beneficial. You're in a small pond instead of a big fish in a small pond versus a small fish in a very, very, very big pond when you're talking about eBay. But you be interested to see how their SEO and all those things, coming from a software background as myself, actually pushes that product out. So in this case, you can see one of my listings here. If you followed any of my stuff, you'll notice the wood plank design with my logo and a bike. This is the bike I listed a couple days ago. And you got the year, make, model, size, good pictures. And it doesn't seem like they have a limitation of pictures. So I didn't hit that wall. Also, they have a good description box, so you can get majority of the information I need to get in there. And then they post other information like the type of bike model, and they capture serial numbers, which is pretty cool, I think. Reason being, that way it automatically checks it in the database, not theirs, but like a register, a registry, which checks several of them, which makes sure that bike isn't stolen. So you kind of get a vote of confidence when you're purchasing from them, which is a great thing, which you don't see in eBay, Marketplace, or Craigslist. Well, I think they may have fields of that, but it's not like that prominent. And they also have a shipping option. And what's unique about this one versus Craigslist is they actually have a transactional layer using Stripe. Stripe integration, you have used it, you just didn't know it. Majority of a lot of online companies and regular companies with their software uses Stripe as their transactional layer. Very secure. I've used it for several different SaaS companies. It works just fine. So that's not to be worried about this one. And they also are claiming that's a 9.99% charge. That includes the actual transaction layer. So, hey, that's pretty awesome. When you're looking at eBay, when it's 13, but it's on the that's actually a wrong percentage, because they take not 13% of the actual sold price. They actually take the 13% off of what taxes have been included with that, as well as shipping. So you're paying a percentage on two elements that are cost to you or to the consumer, and that actually bumps it up to more closer to 15 to 16%. So yeah, anywho, back to BikeList. So I'm really hoping this platform takes off. It'd be nice to have another fishing pole in the water to be able to sell the bikes that I sell. So I'm going to go ahead and start a listing. So first off, you need to build the account. They have a video that says 60 seconds to build a listing. Yeah, and that's if you have everything all piled up and ready to go to build that listing like I do. Or it might take a little time to fill in these fields, but to build the actual account, you'll have to do a transactional layer, bank information, and so forth. Just same thing as like eBay, as well as Facebook Marketplace if you're selling shipping on their platform as well. So keep that in mind. That'll take a hot minute to do, but once you get to that stage, you can actually start putting in your fields. So I'm going to take the one I just listed, and I'm going to put in this information, copy and paste. And once I build one of these up, it's just easy for me to plow right through. And it's a bike, and the category is going to be road. And the brand on this one is Specialized. Keep on going down, down, down. That's one thing that'd be nice if you could do a type in field. Um, that would be a suggestion. Whew. There we go, Specialized bike. The other one did have that in there, but it's not a typable field, so I can't add the Roubaix. So under the description, I have this whole box of junk. Basically, what I like to put in the video that I've recently released is a description and information, who it fits, and the weight is usually nice. Industry description's nice to find, so you can kind of give. I mean, they paid somebody a whole bunch of bucks to write these things up. Might as well use it because you're reselling their bike, which gives their used bike a valued brand. So I repeat the actual model here so I know what I'm working with. And I like to put in the major bullet points as I've see it as being an inventory manager and working in bike shops for all these years. Like frame and fork is a big deal. Wheels, tires, cranks. Most consumers are looking at all these things. Pedals, shifters, and go ahead and go to my website, check out how I list them, and just copy. I mean, not copy the details, but copy the format. You're more than welcome to do that. It's not rocket science. Basically, I take this what you see out of our catalogs, or out of either Bicycle Blue Book and that kind of thing. Manufacturer listings is all the same. So I fill all those things to the best of my knowledge. And this particular one had a little bit of the professional repair of the carbon. So I did put a note in there. You always want to be disclaimer of anything that's different or funky. And that's what I put in there. It was professionally repaired. This is repaired in Boulder by a company called Carbon Bikes, or Broken Carbon, and a quote from the actual original owner. So I put that in there to give it a little more of a confidence that this particular bike is going to be fine. And then what I add is also this geometry bit, so which I highly recommend as well. And this shows people what the size of the bike and how it feels. So if anybody had a professional fit done, they'll try to match those numbers up. So for me, I take this field, copy it, go back to description here, pink bike, and make sure it doesn't look funky. Add my spaces. I do the same thing when I post things on eBay and Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. Since I have a website, I build everything out originally on my website platform, then I move from there, as my concept is my website is my hub. So I try to drive all my traffic to my website, and then I put in this here. And then I'll need to grab a picture to be able to put in there as well. So I need to figure out the price. Well, my price is what I have listed here for $7.99. I'm going to put in, yep, $7.99.98. Doesn't look like they have an on sale price yet, so $7.99.98, or yeah, or is that 86? There you go. And shipping, I charge $150 for shipping because between shipping costs and materials, it runs right about that price. My location, here is my zip code, and I do allow pickups. So I can list the item there, but I want to add my pictures. So starting with my pictures, I have a list of different pictures here. So I want to start with, oh, where'd they go? Oh, there you go. First, two sides, the front wheels, and then I have all these other ones. And these are the ones I put on my website, like so. And since it does call for the serial number, I add that, and also the two pictures that are pointing out where the repair was done. So I'm going to add all of those. This particular platform doesn't add videos to it, so we don't add a video to it, which you can on Facebook Marketplace as well as eBay. So I got those listed in there, and the serial number I'll have to pick up at a different time. I believe I can go back and modify that, and then we just double check everything, make sure we get all that content. Oh, I also do like to add certain verbiage of saying my bike was tuned up and yada yada yada, all those informational pieces. Like this here also validates what was done to the bike, as I also suggested in one of my videos. Purchase with confidence, and just kind of make sure the spacing's all good. So there we go. So we got our listing. All right, let's hit list item. And in this particular platform, it doesn't tell you identify the cover picture, which is this one here. Well, when it doesn't identify, it always assumes the first picture that you select. It's kind of a default there. So I got my information here, listed in the box, description, and it's not as nice where I can add pictures and so forth to the content here like I can with eBay. And but Facebook Marketplace is kind of the same way, and Craigslist is kind of the same way. So it's it's room for improvement, but it has a nice feature of comments, which is kind of nice, and it does break these out of the shipping and so forth, like so. And then whoever purchases it can add to cart and send an offer in that case. So that's how you basically list on BikeList. And yeah, it was pretty quick once you have all the information on there. It's not as pretty as clean and quick as Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. I would say eBay is a little bit trickier because it has a lot of upselling through there where you have to wade through it. And keep in mind, people will hold you accountable for all these details. So you want to make sure that you get these down right the first time, because if they get something and it's posted incorrectly, like if I copied something and didn't copy over correctly, I have like the wrong brake or the wrong derailleur, they can call you out on it. And I'm not sure where BikeList is, but with eBay, they can actually do action against you in a sense, or go against like PayPal claims. So you don't want to go down that rabbit hole. You want to make sure you put every detail you can in there and do it, make sure it's correct. So there we go. We have listed our second bike list, and we will see if we have any bites over the weekend. Anywho, back to bikes. That once you listed, just like Craigslist, it puts you from soonest to oldest, or newest to oldest. And I'm sure there's probably a toggle somewhere. But you can go by location. So if you're looking for something in your actual area, you can go by location. You can also search particular models as well. So that is a great, cleaner way of reviewing and trying to find bikes, because Facebook Marketplace has an algorithm which it basically throws it in some weird hot algorithm mess, and sometimes it shows up and sometimes it doesn't. But anywho, this does list up front. So you can see there's 3 other road bikes since last time I posted. I'm not going to dump all my bikes on there, so it just doesn't blanket the whole page. I'm going to basically spoon feed these in so they fold into the mix quite nicely. Plus, I don't want to dedicate that much time in one sitting to do one particular shot. But if you have a whole bunch of bikes, go right ahead. Also, if you have parts that you want to get rid of, which I will be moving some of my parts over here with my next dump of parts, and do that as well. So again, pictures, good descriptions, and fitting information is the 3 golden keys of successfully selling a bike at full price, or the highest amount you can. Again, thank you.